Ayan. So before natin i-solve si number 12, pahapyawan lang natin na i-recall yung heat energy po natin. Heat energy is a type of energy that is dissipated by a certain object. So parang ikaw, yun, yung katawan natin, tinutunaw niya yung katawan natin, tinutunaw niya yung taba, tinutunaw niya yung pagkain natin through dissipation of heat energy. Kaya minsan sumisingaw tayong mainit, mga ganyan. It is because of the heat energy. Ganoon din sa mga machines natin, tama? Umiinit siya. For example, mga cellphones natin, pagka ginagamit natin, umiinit siya. It is because nagko-consume siya ng power and tinatransfer niya yung power na yon or kino-convert niya yung power na yon to heat energy. Okay? So, dito sa heat energy natin, pag-aaralan natin yung two types of heat energy. The first one is yung tinatawag natin na sensible heat. Yan. So, pag sinabi po nating sensible heat, ang characteristic ng heat energy na to is nagbabago-bago yung temperature, pero yung phase niya, phase na as in PHASE, is siya pa rin. Ilagay natin dito, different temperature reading. Okay, but they have the same phase, or but has constant phase. Okay, nagbabago-bago po yung temperature pero siya pa rin yung kanyang phase. Phase natin is solid, liquid, and gas. Yun lang muna yung consider natin. Though meron pa tayong iba't ibang phases. Okay, for example, ikaw ulit, sa temperature ngayon sa labas, for example, 27 degrees Celsius. Pumasok ka sa kwarto mo, naka-aircon, naging 18 degrees Celsius. Correct? Nagbago yung temperature, hindi ka naman natunaw or hindi ka naman tumigas. Di ba? Tao ka pa rin naman. Or for example, yung ice natin. Yung ice, pagkagaling yan ng refrigerator, di ba, freezing point yon 0 degrees Celsius. So, ice siya nung nasa loob. Pagkalabas ng refrigerator, syempre yung surrounding natin, room temperature na siya, for example, 20 degrees Celsius, hindi naman basta-basta matutunaw agad yung ice natin na pagkalabas mo, tubig na agad siya. Tama? So, pagkalabas natin, the different temperature na yon, same phase pa rin siya, solid pa rin yung ice natin. So, yun yung tinatawag po natin na sensible heat, and in formula form, ito po yung ating QS. Okay? Q is a symbol for heat, energy. Take note na lang yan. Ang nilagay natin na yung sensible heat is QS, and yung formula na ginagamit dito is yung MCAT formula natin, or yung MC delta T formula. Okay, wherein yung M natin dito is the mass. Yung C po natin dyan is your specific heat energy.
Wow.
And yung delta T, syempre yung ating change in temperature. Okay, that is the change in temperature. Okay, so from here, MC delta T, so ano maging unit ng Q natin? Yung magiging unit ng Q natin, depende po yan sa unit ng C, depende rin yan sa unit ng M, depende rin yan sa unit ng T. Pero, mostly, ang unit na yan, tatlo lang naman, yung nabanggit natin kanina. Si BTU, si calorie, or si joules. Okay, yun lang naman yung possible na maging unit niya. Okay, so yan lang naman yung dapat nating tandaan for the sensible heat. And yung C, kailangan din pala natin yung C, yung specific heat energy. Ang pinaka-common natin na fluid, pag sinabi kasi natin fluid can be liquid or gas. Okay? Ang fluid pwede siyang maging liquid or gas, basta any phase na nag-flow, except na lang pagka-solid. Yes, yung solid pwede siyang mag-flow by bits siguro, pero hindi siya matatawag na fluid. Okay, so ang pinaka-importanting fluid na kailangan nating malaman ang kanyang specific heat. Okay, sorry, specific heat dapat is the water. Okay, so ang C ng water natin, specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram Celsius degree, or that is also equivalent to 1 BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree. Okay? Kung naka-joules naman, edi convert mo na lang yung BTU to joules and yung calories papuntang joules. Okay, so yan yung mga conversion natin. So 1 siya dito kasi calories per gram tas Celsius degree. BTU naman dito kasi pound mass tsaka degree Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit degree. Take note din pala, ang LBM to LBF is magkaiba. Ang LBM or the pound force is a unit of force, and LBM or pound mass is a unit of mass. Magkaiba po yan. And also, pakitake note na ang Celsius degree ay hindi parehas sa degree Celsius. Degree Celsius is not equal to Celsius degree, as well as Fahrenheit degree is not equal to degrees Fahrenheit. Bakit? Ang degree Celsius is a reading, but ang Celsius degree is the change in reading. Okay? Itong Celsius degree, yun yung unit ng delta T. Pero yung nasa loob, di ba ang delta T, we define delta T as T2 minus T1, the final minus initial temperature. So ang delta T natin is T, let's say, final temperature minus initial. Itong TF, TI, naka-degrees Celsius. Pero pag pinag-minus natin yan, that is a change, magiging Celsius degree po siya. Kaya ang ginagamit na unit dito is Celsius degree and Fahrenheit degree. Okay, yung Celsius degree, yan ang equal or equivalent kay Kelvin. Okay, bakit? For example, meron akong dalawang temperature reading, si 2 degrees Celsius and si 3 degrees Celsius. Hanapin natin yung delta T niya. Di ba final minus initial, so 3 minus 2. So magiging 1 Celsius degree. I-convert natin to Kelvin. So 2 degrees Celsius in Kelvin is mag-a-add lang tayo ng 273. So we have 275 Kelvin. Ito na naman is maging 276 Kelvin. So pag hinanap natin yung kanyang delta T, that is final minus initial. So 276 minus 275 is 1 Kelvin. So yung change in Celsius is parehas lang yan kay change in Kelvin reading. Kaya pwede nating sabihin dito na yung Celsius degree is equal to Kelvin. Ito, pwede mo tong palitan ng 1 calorie per gram Kelvin sa formula. Okay? At itong degree Celsius and Celsius degree, may conversion po yan. Tingnan natin yung kanyang conversion. Yan ata yung merong 9/5. Di ko rin kasi masyadong kabisado yung conversion. Okay, ito yung maging conversion natin for change in Celsius and Fahrenheit scale. So from here, the change in temperature pag naka-Celsius is equal to 5/9 ng change of temperature na naka-Fahrenheit. So di ba pag Celsius to Fahrenheit, conversion 37 lang siya or conversion 38. Pero ito naman yung conversion natin ng change in temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit reading. Okay? O pwede rin siyang Kelvin Rankine. Ito kasi Kelvin, parehas lang nga sabi natin sa may change in Celsius. Ito pwede mo rin itong gawing Rankine. So parang Kelvin is equal to 5/9 of your change in terms of Rankine. Okay, next, the second type of your heat energy is your latent heat. Ito namang latent heat natin, it happens when there is a change of phase but we have a constant temperature. Okay, so ilagay natin dito na we have here different phase. Okay, but has constant temperature. So, nagbabago-bago yung kanyang phase but the temperature remains the same or constant. For example, yung ice pa rin natin. For example, yung ice natin, o yung tubig na lang siguro, pag nagpapakulo po tayo ng tubig. Okay, nagpakulo tayo ng tubig. Once na it reaches its boiling point, that is 100 degrees centigrade or Celsius, Hindi naman siya basta-basta agad na ano, di ba? O hindi naman siya tubig lang. 100 degrees Celsius, tubig lang siya. Di ba nag-evaporate naman siya? So yung water na yon nagiging gas or vapor. Okay, nag-evaporate siya. So under na siya ng gas state. Okay? 100 degrees Celsius yung temperature, pero there coexist yung ating gas at saka yung liquid form ng ating water. So meron siyang dalawang phase. Isa lang yung temperature. So ito naman, yung ginagamit natin dito is Q sub. Pwedeng Q sub L. Sa ibang books kasi ang ginagamit nila is Q sub L. Sa ibang book naman ang ginagamit nila is QH. Pero depende na sa inyo yun kung anong gagamitin yung mga letters, variables. So let's say QL na lang siguro for latent heat. Kasi dito ginamit natin sensible heat, letter S. So ang formula natin dito is M times L. Okay, yung L natin dito is yung ating latent heat. At yung latent heat na yan can be classified into two. Okay, we have your latent heat or yung LF. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na latent heat of fusion. Okay, latent heat of fusion. Ang latent heat of fusion natin, isa siyang constant na ginagamit kapag meron tayong change of phase from solid to liquid state and vice versa. Okay, pwede ring liquid to solid state. That is the constant na gamitin yung latent heat of fusion. Yung isa naman is yung LV or yung ating latent heat of vaporization. So gagamitin naman natin tong constant na to kung merong nangyaring change of phase from the gaseous state to liquid state or liquid state to gaseous state. Ayan, yung mga constant na ginagamit natin. And meron silang, syempre constant yan, may mga value po yan. Take note na lang natin. So for the latent heat of fusion, ito yung mga different natin na constant. We have 144 BTU per pound mass. Also, we have 334 kilojoules per kilogram or pwede rin joules per gram or pwede rin siyang 80 calories per gram. Okay, so eto kahit isa lang yung i-memorize ninyo. For example, ang memorize mo lang is 144 BTU per pound mass. Tapos dun sa problem, kailangan nakaka-calories per gram. I-convert mo na lang. BTU, you can convert it to calorie kasi kinonvert naman natin kanina or nagbigay tayo ng conversion factors. And itong pound mass, i-convert mo na lang to grams. Alam mo naman yung conversion yan or kung di mo man makabisado, nasa calculator naman yan. That is conversion 23 and 24. And doon yung conversion ng pounds to kilograms. For latent heat of vaporization naman, these are the values of this constant. 970 BTU per pound mass. We have 2,275 kilojoules per kilogram. And we have 540 calories per gram. Ayan, so those are the different values of latent heat of fusion and the latent heat of vaporization. Minsan may mga binabanggit pa sila dito na signs. Pwede siyang maging plus or minus. Ito ginagamit siya sa systems of thermodynamics kasi kung plus, that is energy which is entering. Tapos minus naman kapag ka-energy which is leaving to the body or from the body. Lagyan nyo na lang dito plus or minus. Okay, so yan lang naman yung dapat nating tandaan sa ating heat energy. So proceed tayo sa applications. Screenshot mo na lang siya ng mabilis. Okay, so next, number 12. How many calories are required to raise 20 kilograms of copper given yung kanyang CP? Okay, nakalimutan ko dito. Yung specific heat pala natin can be classified into different constant na naman. Specific heat, meron tayong tinatawag na CP, CV, and CN. Yung CP natin is the specific heat at constant pressure. pag nakita nyo to, specific heat po yan at constant pressure. Yung CV naman is specific heat at constant temperature. And yung isa naman natin, yung ating CN. Okay, specific heat naman yun under your polytropic process. Polytropic specific heat ang tawag na. Okay, so from here, yung mga given lang muna tayo para ma-identify natin kung paano na isosolve yung problem. So meron daw tayong mass dito of 20 kilograms. Yung CP, yan na siya. Then we have a temperature change that is initially from 80 degrees Celsius to 600 degrees Celsius. So kung titignan natin dito, pinapahanap yung kanyang energy and there is a change in temperature ang nangyari. So gagamitan natin siya ng sensible heat relation. Okay, so we have here QS that is equal to MC delta T. Okay, the mass is equal to 20 kilograms. C is given, that is 0.208. So in BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree. So this must be in Fahrenheit degree, not degrees Fahrenheit. Nabanggit naman na natin kanina yung kanilang difference. Okay, multiplied by the change in temperature, we have 600 degrees Celsius minus 80 degrees Celsius. So kung titignan natin yung units, hindi siya consistent. So kailangan mong i-convert yung kilogram to pound mass, BTU to calorie kasi calorie yung nasa choices, and Fahrenheit degree to Celsius degree. Gagamitan mo siya neto. Pero mukhang may mas madaling conversion naman and using this conversion. Para hindi na tayo mahirapang mag-convert isa-isa, minsan ang conversion na lang using the specific heat of water. So according to that constant, ang specific heat ng water is 1 BTU per pound mass, Fahrenheit degree calorie per gram, Celsius degree. Take note na ito naka-kilograms, ito naka-gram. So convert lang natin. In 1 kilogram, we have 1,000 grams. Yan, so yan na yung mga magka-cancel. So dito magka-cancel si kilogram, di gram. Actually, yung buong ito magka-cancel. BTU per pound mass, yun, magka-cancel si gram. Yung Celsius degree dito, magka-cancel dito kasi Celsius degree na ito. So matitira na lang dyan is a unit of calories. Solve natin, we have 20 times 0.208 times 600 less 80. Naka-times ng 1,000. Ilan to? So we have here 2.163 times 10 raised to 6 calories, or that is 2.163 mega calories. So the answer here is letter D. Okay. Next number 13. So a 2-pound mass of 200 degree Fahrenheit iron, given its CP, 0.1 BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree, are dropped into a gallon of 40 degree Fahrenheit water. What is the final temperature of the mixture in degrees Fahrenheit? Okay, so from here, dalawa yung material na binigay. We have here the iron and water. So yung iron, i-drop natin sa water originally with a temperature of 40 degree Fahrenheit. And syempre, after some time, magmi-meet sila into one temperature at yan yung tinatawag natin na equilibrium. Tama. Parang pag naliligo tayo, di ba, pag nagpapainit tayo ng tubig, or kung gusto nating mainit yung panligo natin, di ba, malamig muna siya. Tapos talagyan natin siya ng mainit hanggang matimpla mo siya yung gusto mong init. Okay? So, kumbaga parang yung malamig na tubig, uminit siya, pero yung nilagay mong mainit na tubig, lumamig naman siya. They meet at the same temperature. Ayun yung tinatawag natin na thermal equilibrium. So under siya ng ano bang ngayon? Zeroth law. Tama? So actually we have 4 laws of thermodynamics. The first law, second law, third law, and the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay, so kapag ganito yung scenario, meron siyang thermal equilibrium, may nag-loss, may nag-gain ng energy. Ang gagawin natin is to sum up all the energies and equate it to 0. Okay, malalaman mo naman na nag-loss yung isang object kung lumamig siya. Nag-gain naman ng energy yung isang object kung uminit siya. Tama? So from here, since dalawa yung ating material, isasum up natin yung heat energy na nag-gain ng isa, then yung na-loss ng isa, and that is equal to 0. Okay, so from here, yung, sige, given lang muna tayo. So for the iron, its mass is 2 pounds. 2 pound mass. Its original temperature is 200 degree Fahrenheit. Given yung kanyang C, Cp is 0.1, that is BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree. For the water naman, so ito yung ating given for the water. The original temperature, initial temperature is 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So alam mo na dapat dyan kung sino yung magiging at maglulos. Since mas mainit yung ating iron, siya yung maglulos at yung water naman ang magiging ng temperature. Okay, so yan lang yung given at ang pinapahanap dito is the resulting temperature of the two mixture or the final temperature. Okay, so from here, sabi natin, summation of heat energy is 0. So yung sensible heat, sensible heat ang gagamitin natin dito kasi mayroon siyang initial and final temperature. So the heat energy for the iron, sensible heat, ito plus. The sensible heat for your water must be equal to 0. MC delta T for your iron, so M niya is 2 pound mass times yung kanyang C, that is 0.1 BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree. Delta T, so the final is unknown minus initial 200 degrees Fahrenheit plus for the water MC delta T pa rin, pero walang binigin na mass ng water, tama? So yung mass ng water natin ay unknown. Pero kung titignan natin dito, nagbigay siya ng volume. Drop into a gallon of water, so ang mass ng water na to can be in terms of volume, 1 gallon. So yung gallon na lang siguro, si-convert natin. Okay, so pag hindi alam yung direct conversion ng gallon to pound mass, meron naman yan sa calculator, but we will use the US gallons. Okay, we will use the US gallons. So, ang conversion na gagamitin natin is conversion number 13. So, conversion number 13. So, input lang natin yung 1. That is equal to 3.785. That is in liters. Okay, since naka-liters pa lang yan, di pa pwede kasi ang kailangan natin dapat ay unit of mass. So itong liter, meron ulit tayong conversion na ito papuntang kilogram, tama ba? So 1:1 ang kanilang conversion. So in 1 kilogram, we have 1 liter. So itong 1 US gallon is equal to 3.785 kilograms. Ang kailangan ko dito is pound mass para maging consistent. De-convert ulit natin using the calculator. Okay, so yung conversion natin is conversion 24. So yung sagot natin kanina, just press shift conversion 24 para maging pound siya. So we have 8.345. That is in pound mass. So take note nyo na lang to, magagamit natin to later on. So yan na po yung mass natin for the water. That is 8.345 pound mass multiplied by the C of water. Yung C dapat naka-pound BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree. So gamitin natin yung binigay natin kanina na 1 BTU per pound mass Fahrenheit degree times the change in temperature, that is final minus initial. Ito siya, that is 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is equal to 0. Pwede na, meron na po tayong 1 equation, 1 unknown. Pwede natin siyang shift solve or pwede mo na siyang i-calculate. Okay, so we have here 2 multiplied by 0.1 multiplied by alpha x minus 200 plus 8.345 times 1 times alpha x minus 40 is equal to 0. So shift solve starting from 0. So we have 43.74. That is in degree Fahrenheit. So again, tignan maigi sa problem kung ilan yung present na material, okay, or ilan yung component ng ating problem, then yun yung number of expressions na ipag-add natin dito sa ating summation of heat energy. Pero intindihin mo nang maigi yung problem kasi minsan nagbibigay siya ng 3 component pero 2 lang pala yung consider. Okay, case to case basis depende sa situation na problem.